Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome to the sixth episode of the Dark Coders. Today we will be talking about switch and recursion. Let's start with recursion. Remember, we used to do for loop. For loop, I'm gonna start with an initiator I is equal to 0, and then it's gonna check the condition I less than equal to 10, and then it's gonna print or do the statement, and then it's gonna increment until the condition is false. And so the output is simply going to be like this. Okay, so for recursion, it's something similar. Alright, this is a recursive function. So what's a recursive function, right? So a recursive function is something that calls, as a function that calls itself. So I'm gonna print the same thing in recursive. Okay, same for loop in recursive. So let's hop back to the code. This looks a bit messed up. Let's just break it down. So first I'm declaring a variable, which is integer number. Then I'm gonna input the variable. I'm gonna input 5. Then I'm gonna call the function. Okay, so I call the function. Now, first of all, I have to check is that if the number is equal to 1, this is the condition part, okay? In the for loop, I put I less than equal to 10. In here, it's going to be a bit different. I'm going to explain this a bit later. So, first you have to understand that if is not true, so it's going to go to else. Now is the part. Function is equal to number minus 1. What does that mean? 5 minus 1 is 4. 4 is called back to its function. By the way, this is incrementing decrementing. Remember in here I put I plus plus, this is I minus minus. Okay, so it goes back as 4 value. Remember that it's not printing stuff. Okay, it's like the computer is halfway there. Like the process is happening, but it's just not going here. So what's happening is that it's just storing 4 in its memory stage. So it's not printing, it's not doing anything, it's just putting 4 in its memory space and calling its own function again. So now if number is equal to 1, it's not, so it's going to go to else, and then it's going to return 3 basically, and then it calls its own function again. So 3 is stored. Basically it's like this, it's gonna do 2 and it's gonna store 1, but problem is when it stores 1 it meets its own condition. Number is equal to 1, it returns 0, it's finally returned something. So when it returns something, then only then this print is going to work. So what's gonna print out? 1, then it's gonna print out 2, then it's going to print out 3, then it's going to print out 4, basically from reverse order. So this is recursion. Trust me, recursion is one chapter that all computer science students hate. Absolutely, I hate it myself. This is how it happens. Just get used to it, okay? Keep on watching, keep on practicing this thing, it's just gonna get in. And remember, this is the chapter that all teacher loves to put in exam and confuse all the students. So yeah, you really have to practice this a lot. And but in competitive programming we don't use this much. There's something called legit for loop, and there's also lots of while loop, do loop, and all this stuff. So recursion is really not needed in competitive programming. Yep, that's it for recursion. Let's go next to switch. Switch. What is switch, right? Okay. Switch is basically another way of typing a code, alright? It's nothing special. So let's start with it. It's the advantage of switch is that when you code in switch, then it's easier to debug, it's easier to see. Well, that's what people say. It's not from me, trust me. But yeah, let's just keep on that. Anyway, so first I'm gonna declare a variable number. Then I'm gonna scanf percentage number. Let's say I put 1 in it. Okay, I'm gonna put integer 1. Wow. Okay, I'm gonna put 1 in here inside the number. So now this is just a template of switch. So yeah, this is just a template of switch. Just bear it. I'm gonna write the real switch thing in the code block, but this is just a template. Okay, so basically in here it's going to be like this: switch number. Now in here I have to write case. Okay, in case, and then I have to write if condition satisfied. In other words, means that if I write 1 here, which is equal to the number, okay, and then it's only going to go here, only going to follow this statement. So this is basically the template. Now let's just go to the real thing code block and then really understand it better. All right, here is it. This is a normal code block thing. Okay, so in the code block thing, first of all, as usual, I put the number, then I'm gonna scan the number, and then this one, as I said in the template, switch number, right? If I want to use switch, then I have to first declare that I'm gonna use switch. There you go. So now in here, case, in switches there's lots of cases, okay? Like this is what makes it cleaner. So case 1, case, and default. So first one, case, then I'm gonna put what in here? 1. That means that if the number I input is 1, only then, and the case 1 it matches, only then it's going to follow this part. If the case is not 1 or something else, then it's gonna go to other cases. So first let's try. I'm gonna click F9, and then see, let's delete that part. So now I'm gonna put 1 in here. See, it print %d number. Basically I inputted number, so it's just giving me number. Let's not confuse that, and let's put case. First case works, okay? First case works. Okay, /n, new line. Okay, and when it completes this part, it breaks. I'm gonna explain the break a bit shortly. Now if I want to say that, you know, some people are so lazy to write 1, 2, 3, 4 all the cases, so now I'm gonna say that I'm not gonna write it. I'm gonna say if I want to put from 2 to let's say 7, then it's just gonna show me this. Okay, so let's just change the comment a bit. It is from 2 to 7, all right, /n. Okay, so I'm gonna click F9, and then let's just put 5. So it is from 2 to 7. So basically now the timeline is from 2 to 7. If I put 5 in here, then, well, this part is falling. Now why did I put break all the time? Okay, so for break, let's say if I didn't put break, okay, what's the problem, right? Let's try it. So I didn't put break, I put break in here. Okay, so F9, first I'm gonna input 1 so that this case works. 1. Ooh, what happened? Look at that. First of all, first case work, it did come out. Because I didn't put the break, it continued to the second case and print out this too. So what does break do? Break basically completes the case and blocks the case from going to another case. Okay, so that's what break does. So this is another headache of breaking a break. Okay, now what's a default do? This is another part of switch that, let's say, as a user is not gonna input 1, neither 2 to 7. Let's say it input 9. Okay, so default is just default, it's just gonna go here. So let's say I'm gonna click 9. Yep, input stop valid, dude. Okay, what did I do? Okay, let's just change the input a bit. Invalid. Okay, F9. So now 10, yep, it does not follow any cases, so by default it goes here. Now it's up to you if you don't want to put default or not. If you don't, then no input is gonna come out if the case doesn't match. So it's a good habit to write default. So here you go, this is switch, and that's it. Please like and subscribe, and see you in the next video.